Hey, it's June.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Real bad, yeah. I know, yeah. I'm like, should I get cheaper glasses? Yeah. It's not
Oh,
too
yes.
swollen, but I did ice it right away. Yeah, it's
You know, you
scary.
put a little foundation, a little
Oh,
blush there to
makeup
match
too.
it. Yeah. Oh, I've done that.
Well, yeah,
Red, white, and blue.
but that's true, yeah, maybe I was like, yeah, I'll do this red.
Thank you.
Friday.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Sound like a live one.
She's in Montana.
Oh, jeez. It's tough to make the meeting. Mystery solved.
Okay, Chair Griswold, it is 7 o'clock and the camera is rolling and you're ready to go.
Okay. I call this July 1st, 2025 Planning and Zoning regular meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please silence your devices. Commissioner Verhey, would you please lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is roll call. Deputy Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Roll call for tonight's meeting. Verhey,
Here.
Pemberton is absent. Hornseth,
Present.
here. Hubbard,
Here.
Sullivan,
Here.
and Chair Griswold.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Next on the agenda is public comments on any subject except those items scheduled for a public hearing. We have no public hearings tonight. Is anyone signed up to speak?
I believe no.
Get your steps in this way.
Yeah. No, there is no one signed up.
Is anyone in the audience wishing to speak?
I would like to speak one thing.
Okay, would you please come to the whatever? Where's the microphone for
This
this?
will be short and sweet.
Okay,
Mike Calhoun, I live inside the city limits, and the only comment is I'd like to turn that eagle out,
aw,
if we could do that. Facing.
Right?
That's all.
could you give that a spin?
That's flag protocol. You can face it out.
Oh.
Thank you, observant public. Who knows how long
All the way
it's
through.
been
Bring it all the way around.
All the way.
flying
All the way
into
around.
the
There you
wall.
go. Oh, it's missing a wing.
Oh,
That's why they
that's-
did.
That's probably.
It's
why.
been winged.
It looks
Okay.
profile.
Okay,
So,
make note, we need to replace the eagle.
That's why they did it.
Aw. That's it. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda and consent agenda. I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Sullivan, and a second.
I'll second.
Commissioner Hubbard. Thank you. And are there any changes to the agenda and consent agenda? Then I'll proceed with that.
Okay.
In our rules of procedures, Rule 43, the chair may put items on the consent agenda at their discretion. Tonight's preliminary plat for the vacation of the interior lot line to create one lot is very straightforward and in order. Last month, Resolution 2025-019, a similar interior lot line vacation was approved on the consent agenda. If there are no objections, I would like to put tonight's Resolution 2025-022 on the consent agenda. Okay,
I move to do that.
we don't have to move if there's no objections.
No objection.
No objections. Okay. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll call vote.
voting on the approval of the agenda and consent agenda as amended. Verhey,
Yes.
Hornseth,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
and Chair Griswold.
Yes.
The agenda and consent agenda are approved as amended, adding Resolution 2025-2022 to the consent agenda, along with the approval of June 3rd, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes. And the Resolution 2025-2022 reads of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Seward, Alaska, recommending Kenai Peninsula Borough approval of the preliminary plat of 213 Fifth Avenue, vacating the interior lot line and creating one lot.
And just a tiny correction, it's 2025-022.
2025-022. Yes,
You said 20.
sorry.
That would be a lot of resolutions for us. Okay, thank you very much. Next is special orders, presentations, and reports. There are no proclamations or awards. Would the administration like to give a report?
Sure, we'll keep it short and sweet today. We're excited to announce that we have hired our new admin position. Her name's Jamie. She'll begin next Tuesday, so she should be in attendance at the next work session for you all to meet. Or if you're in the office next week after Tuesday, feel free to stop in and introduce yourselves to her. Yeah, so we're excited to get her started. And other than that, Courtney and I are just kind of trucking through the survey analysis, but we have worked with our consulting firm from the town halls to get the final summary of the town hall analysis, and so that is going to be in the city council packet for their next meeting. So we're going to include the whole document in there for the public and you all to be able to peruse and read through. So that's what we have.
Okay, any questions for administration? Okay, thank you. The next on the agenda is unfinished, well, there's a whole bunch of stuff we're just gonna skip because there's none. Next on the agenda is new business. Under resolutions is resolution 2025-002, which is on the consent agenda. Other new business is a discussion of the work session topics for July 15th. Staff, would you please give an overview?
Sure. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity to delve into some of the missing middle housing research that we've been doing. So there's a couple of things that need either to be cleaned up in code or potentially added. And so the chair brought to our attention it would be a good idea to clean up the mixed use building code language and to get that more defined and kind of talk through all the areas of code where that would make sense to be in. And then we've had a couple members of the public come to us with a few ideas that just wouldn't be allowed with the current code, but it would fall under one of the missing middle housing options known as a cottage court. And so we want to do a little bit more brainstorming research and kind of bring that information to the commission to kind of get your initial thoughts on what that might look like if we were to add that into our code. And there might be a few other nuggets we pull out of there if anyone has any feedback. I don't know if we've had a chance to look at this book yet, but yeah, start tackling some of those middle missing housing options that we could look into. What's our idea?
So how would you title that work session? What's the work session topic?
Missing middle housing? Yeah, let's do that.
Catchy?
Yeah.
Sound good? Okay.
That's the only thing. Do we have some homework? You're gonna put it in the packet?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more homework for us right now to kind of get that information to you all. But yeah, there's two of these books. I'll probably hold on to this one. I don't know if it's the other. Do you have it? Okay, so yeah. I don't know.
I'll work on
Yeah.
return it to the next user.
Yeah, feel free to kind of.
Would you like to highlight the titles of those books?
Yeah, this is Missing Middle Housing, which is one I kind of went to a presentation on at the National Planning Conference. And this one is, I think this is just one that.
Yeah,
brought
it's
up
more
the
about
charter,
income-based
so-
housing. It's kind of obsolete already, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not what we need. We already have enough of that.
This is just here because Commissioner Hubbard was returning, so.
And what was the name of the book you?
It's that same
Same.
yellow book. the book
Okay.
same.
We ordered two of these.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
One of the Chair Griswold, one of the things, I think it's Donald Shoup, I believe, is the author on a lot of these books, and spends a great deal of time on, whether it's parking or interior kind of setups within municipalities. But if for any of those who really care about it, if you can't sit and read, I've downloaded audiobooks. So a lot of his works, some of these works are on audiobooks, so if anybody's
nice.
interested in that, I have a hard time just sitting and reading. so I like to do stuff and listen at the same time.
I agree.
So,
Is that an option in your budget to buy a few audiobooks?
Yeah, potentially. This
For
is-
ones that are relevant?
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
Are you talking, you found one that was for free, or did you purchase the?
I have an Audible subscription, so I was
Okay.
online with that, so, yeah. So it's not, I'm really afraid, I'm sorry about that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into it, because I think on Spot, I think, that, what was his first book? What was the name of it? High Cost of Free Parking? I think that one might be on Spotify for free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like a 24-hour listen, so,
Wow.
yeah, that might be an easier one to listen to,
Mm.
if you're like driving around or
Yeah.
biking around, walking around, and sit down and reading for that long.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, but if you have, books that, whether it's in paper or audio, you would like us to purchase, again, you will have a little budget for education training, so let us know, and we'd be happy to. And we'll continue to look through and get stuff to you, and let you know about how to access them.
And it's nice to have reviews like Affordable City is already obsolete, so you don't want to waste your money on audiobook for that. It sounds like the missing middle housing is still relevant. And I don't know if Libby has it. I have the library,
Mhm.
Libby subscription.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure if they have.
Yeah, I have to check. Okay, sure.
I don't know if this is the right place for it, but when we, you talk about cleaning up code and doing some things, when we got into the tire and lube, approving the auto repair for the tire and lube, we had to do a conditional use permit for that. And my thought was, why isn't auto repair included in the tire and lube? What do you say? Code anyway, and so is that something that we could talk about or consider? It just seemed like it was kind of unnecessary to not realize that there is auto repair that goes along or complements whatever you're having tire and lube done to.
Would you like to address that?
Yeah, that was on our list at some point to see if that would be a priority for the commission. If we want to look at that land use, it seems like that might be a shorter conversation, so we can tack that on to this next work session. Because I think the issue was, if you were just doing tire and lube, you fall under the definition of a gas station, which is allowed outright in auto commercial. Then once you start getting above any of those services, then you trigger the repair, with the repair shop. Land use, which you need a conditional use permit for, and so that could be a conversation to see if you want to tighten that up or have that be an outright use versus the permit process.
outlines of the Akashani mountain range.
Here's your audiobook, Claire.
That sounds like a good one.
I know it is. It's actually good, I gotta get it. That's terrible.
Can you just silence it?
I'm trying to.
Hammer?
The volume.
There we go. I was trying to find the book.
Oh, thanks for that research.
But it didn't work out too well.
Just a quick comment, we don't have any pressing auto repair shops in town, so it's probably not a high priority. And there's a lot of uses in our land uses allowed table that are like, when's the last time we had to deal with a taxidermy store? So anyway, that whole thing should probably be reviewed. But lots of flaming ducks out there. But thank you for that comment. It's certainly, we're always trying to catch up.
Actually, I'll add one more, because just in terms of cleaning up code, we might add it for this work session. There's a pop-up vet clinic that comes and works out of the animal shelter, which is, a much needed service in the community, and we're able to kind of put that under a kind of a mobile medical unit in our land use, which is allowed outright, but thinking long-term, if there ever is a potential long-term solution for like a vet in town, would not be able to operate in conjunction with the animal shelter, because an animal shelter in what's an institutional zoning district is allowed with a permit, but veterinary hospital / clinic is not allowed in the same zoning district. And so we thought that might be a good way to clean up code, is wherever like an animal shelter is used, to have some sort of vet clinic as an option. So that's something that the commission would be interested in discussing.
That's very relevant, ongoing and in the future.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we'll tack that one on to the work session as well. Just to, that one, we might be able to come up with a draft ordinance for that and just get feedback on it.
Anything else? Okay, move on. Okay, informational items and reports. Next work session will be on Tuesday, July 15th at 6 p.m. in council chambers. And the next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, August 5th at 7 p.m. in council chambers. Next on the agenda is final public comments. Would anyone in the audience wish to speak? Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here. Administration and commission comments. Staff, do you have any comments?
Yeah, thank you for that very productive meeting.
Record time.
This because we talked about the next work session and meeting. I will be here for the next work session, but then I'm taking leave for 2 weeks at the end of July. So I'll be here for the work session and the August meeting, but there'll be a little gap here where Courtney will be serving as the acting community development director. So
In
just
July.
FYI. Yeah, the last 2 weeks of July, and I'll give you all a heads up too
Okay.
before I head out.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, commissioners?
Yes, I was, I guess I should have brought this up earlier, but I was wondering if when we were going to have a joint session on parking with Parks and Rec and the council. That was brought up and discussed at the last meeting, and that it's kind of like, to do parking, we kind of need more people at the table, since it's sort of a dynamic thing and relies on other codes than just what, or other title codes than what we're dealing with. 15 and 16 is what we got, but there's a lot of other codes that pertain to parking and charging for parking. I thought that the council would be interested,
It did come
or the
up.
administration.
Yeah, they mentioned it came up as a conversation during the administrative report at the last council meeting. And so it will be, I think they're gonna have a discussion item at their next council meeting on it. And so, yeah, I'm gonna share with them the kind of presentation I gave the commission, and then I'll let Kat and Jason kind of lead the other side. But yeah, I'll be happy to talk through, hey, these are the lanes that P&Z has, but if they're telling you they have ideas for bigger reform, then yeah, there would need to be buy-in from council or other departments, because those are things that we, or you all can recommend. So that's why we wanted to take a break from parking for the next work session to kind of see how that discussion goes, and then we'll.
Yeah, I just find some of the decisions on parking is hard unless we know, for this dais, if we don't know what the city is planning to do with their land, and it's a much more comprehensive issue. And we don't want to solve one problem and create another problem.
Agreed.
So.
Great. Okay. And does anyone else have comments?
I do.
Commissioner Sullivan.
Thank you very much. I'd like to, first off, you answered a question that I was having, because I was gonna ask if, these more administrative lot line vacancies that we were doing, I know you're not supposed to do it if it's a commercial business. It's only, you can only do it if you own both properties, both lots if it's your property owner, but the fact that you rolled it into a consent agenda helps it a lot, because we have to forward it on to the council and on to, obviously, to the borough. The fact that you did it that way was huge, because otherwise we'd have to sit there and discuss something that is just pretty much administrative, would have wasted everybody's time. So I really like the fact that you did that. Yeah, that was huge.
Just a clarification, only if it's city-owned property, does it go to city council? This
Right.
one will go straight to the borough planning
right.
commission.
Yeah,
Only if it's what I was going to say.
city.
Yep, only if it's city
City
property,
Oh,
then the city council has to approve of it. It is public land, and everyone in the
I got
public
you.
owns it. But this is just straight to the borough planning commission. So the packet was complete, they have everything they need to
Need to
know.
go.
Goes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good thinking.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. I'm going to adjourn this meeting at 7:19 p.m.
Sweet.
Right on.
Yeah,
That sort of makes up for those 3
Yeah, there
hours.
we go.
yeah, that was nice.
Would you like some help assembling all this stuff?
Yeah. We just need the chairs kind of
Find the title, like,
lined
yeah,
up.
like, on the audio book, like.
Yeah, these chairs go in back for me. Yeah.
Okay. You don't have
Need a little
No,
microphone
no.
once in a while.
Good time.
You gotta get it.
I'll sit in.
I noticed when we were saying the pledge, I'm like,